What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Get Rich or Go Broke Chine. I'm your host, Eddie Kang. We are season 2, episode 2. And man, what a return do we have? We were literally a game and a tiebreak away from a perfect episode. But we still finished in the positive. 3-1 for episode 1. Bankroll, we're already up almost 4 units just to start the year. I believe it's 3.84 units. Quick little recap, and then I have said it himself. Without my aces, I probably would not have won today. The first match, first set, he won 6-3. Ended up losing the second one 6-7, 7-5. And normally for Zverev, this is a spot where he tends to fold, mentally collapse. When I saw Tien win that set the way he did, I was really worried for a second. But to give Zverev his credit, he bounced back and destroyed Tien in the third set 6-1. Ended up winning the final set 7-6, 7-3 on the tiebreaker. So found our trend, 67% hit rate. That Zverev usually drops a set in his last 12 matches, and that trend continued. So plus 148 with 2 units. That was a nice little grab for us. Our only miss of the day, our only miss of the episode, we took the same bet for Carlos Alcaraz versus Alex de Minaur. Alcaraz to win the match and both players to win the set. I believe it was 136. Alcaraz was just too sharp. He has not dropped a set in this tournament yet. I was expecting de Minaur to at least get one off of him because de Minaur's been playing out of his mind. It was the home crowd favorite. Didn't happen. De Minaur now falls to Alcaraz 0-6 all time. Also, he's 0-6 in major quarterfinals. So that's going to be something to look to keep our eye on for the other majors down the road. The final, I can't. Only thing you can do is, tip your cap to Alcaraz. He's the best player in the world. Um, Sinner's gonna make a push for that, but for my money, people who have followed me, it's King Los or die over here. We don't support Sinner. We only bet on him when it makes sense. Third pick, we had Jessica Pegula money line at plus 114 over Amanda Anisimova. She was locked in. I mean, first set, couldn't have went any better. I believe it was 6-2, and she really could have won it 6-1 if she wanted to. Anisimova made it a tough one in the second set. She actually got the first break to go up 4-2 or 5-3. I think it was 5-3. Pegula got it right back, tied it up at 5 apiece, and then got broken again and was down 6-5. It had to, break to force the tiebreaker. Once she did that, Anisimova got the first point, and then Pegula got the next 7. Won the tiebreaker very easily, 7-1. Anisimova just didn't look herself in this match. She was just hitting unforced errors all over the place. Pegula really had her struggling. Like, Pegula just kept her cool. She just kept balls in play, and Anisimova was just knocking them all over the place. Couldn't find her groove, and then the one time she did, Pegula, stepped right back into it and handled business. All we can ask for, like I said, money line plus 114. I'm gonna take that with Pegula almost every time. And then our last match, I didn't want to call this the lock of the century. It felt like the lock of the century. It seems like every time these two play each other, this happens. Sinner in straight sets, 3-0, minus 150. Even with the juice, I couldn't ignore it. Sinner's return game is just too elite. Shelton only converted 3 of 12 break points in the match. Seems like every time Shelton plays a top 3 guy, I believe he's 0-18 against top 3 players all time. I mean, when Sinner's hitting 33 winners and only 16 unforced errors, there's really nothing you can do unless your name's Carlos Alcaraz. And as good as Shelton is, he's not on that level with those two yet. I don't think he ever will be. Shelton's a great player. His athleticism keeps him in a lot of matches. But when you're playing somebody like Sinner and Alcaraz, you got to have more than athleticism. You have to be fundamentally sound. And you cannot have any slip-ups against these guys. And, I mean, even for the most part, Shelton played out of his mind. Sinner's just that much better. The final score in that one was 6-3, 6-4, 6-4. Sinner's now 9-1 lifetime against Ben Shelton, 9-0 in the last 9. I believe it's 22 straight sets. that he's won against Shelton. So until Shelton wins a set against Sinner, that's gonna be our bet moving forward. Sinner straight sets. So like I said, 3-1 on the previous show, plus 3.84 units profit. I got some heat for y'all on this one. So coming up next, I'm gonna have the semifinals picks for men and women for y'all. All right, first pick for the semifinals. We got Sabalenka versus Svitolina. We're taking Sabalenka in straight sets, 2 units at minus 155. Sabalenka's won 2 of the last 3 Australian Opens. Keys won it last year. Sabs won the 2 before that. She was in the final last year, so she's been to 3 straight finals. This is her court. She's been absolutely dominant this year. Not only has she not dropped a set in this tournament, she hasn't dropped a set all year. I believe she's played 10 matches and she's 20-0 when it comes to sets. Svitolina's a fighter, but she's more of a counterpuncher, and she doesn't have the firepower to handle Sabalenka's ball striking. I don't know what to tell you. When she's on, she's on. Svitolina, now, if she's off, or if she starts to mentally fade away, Svitolina's absolutely a live dog in this. But Sabs has not given us any inkling or iota of any mental unstableness so far this year. And to be honest, the only thing that's really helped Sabalenka back, a lot of tournaments is her own damn self. And if she's not getting in her own way, then it's going to be scary for everybody. And, kind of like with Sinner with Ben Shelton, until she loses a set, I'm not picking her to lose one. So at 155, yeah, we're laying the juice, but straight sets feels like it's most likely the right outcome in this one. All right, second pick, Thursday, 4:30 in the morning, Jessica Pegula versus Rabinkina. This is about as 50-50 of a matchup as you are going to find in tennis. The lad, they've played 6 times. It's 3-3. We just cashed Pegula at moneyline plus 114. She's battle tested right now. She just went through the defending champion Keys in the last 2 major runner-ups in Anisimova. Now Rabinkina is the better server. She has the more firepower, but she can be very inconsistent with her serves. Pegula's more of a grinder, smart, steady, makes you work for every point on the court, and she will make you play every single baseline angle drop shot. Like, she will make you work for every single point. She's not going to overpower you, but she's not going to get blown off the court either. It's very rare that you see Pegula go out in straight sets. I don't have a lean either way. If I had to pick money line, I'm probably gonna go Pegula just because of the American support. But we're gonna take the over 2.5 sets here for 2 units at plus 138. Like I said, they're 3-3 in their 6 matches together. 4 of those 6 matches have went over 2.5 sets. Every time these two seem to play each other, it's a dog fight, and I expect nothing less for a Grand Slam semifinals. Pegula's looking for her first major title ever. I believe she's also looking for her first Grand Slam finals appearance. She might have made one before. Rabinkina is a 2-time major champion. I know she won Wimbledon once. I can't remember if she won the US Open or not. But either way, I'm not comfortable picking a winner, but I'm comfortable picking a dogfight. And at plus 138, if you're going to give me something that, like we talked about with Zverev, hits 67% of the time, I'm going to take my chances with that and take the juice. So 2 units plus 138, I'm with it. All right, moving on to the men's. This is going to be tomorrow, Thursday night. First match, 7 p.m. Jannik Sinner versus Novak Djokovic. I'm not going to lie, this pick is going to hurt my heart. Djokovic is probably the reason. Between him and Andy Roddick, they're probably the 2 main reasons I got into tennis. Djokovic is, without question, the greatest male player of all time, arguably the greatest player of all time, maybe second behind Serena. I think you can pick either one of them at 1 and 2, and you wouldn't be wrong. But Sinner, between Joker being, 38, and Sinner just being a dog, I'm taking Djokovic under 12.5 games at minus 110. We're going to lay 1.5 units on that. Sinner just dominated Shelton in the straight sets. He's locked in. This is his court. He's going for a 3-peat in the Australian Open. I believe he's on a 39. My bad. He's on a 19 game win streak for outdoor hardcourt. I believe he's on a 39 streak for hardcourt, period. Djokovic, like I said, 38 years old. He ain't got the legs to hang with center for anything more than 3 sets at this point. To be honest, Joker shouldn't even be in this position. He was down to Musetti 6-3, 6-3. He was losing. He was gonna lose in straight sets had Musetti not got hurt in the second set. But Musetti unfortunately had to retire down 3-1 in the third set. Joker even himself said he's lucky to be here. Sinners won in straight sets, I believe, the last 4 matches. I'm trying to give Joker some respect and give him a set, but it's hard, man. And it's sad because it's really sad for the rest of the tennis world because when he's not playing Alcaraz or Sinner, he's probably still the best player on the planet. Maybe sans Zverev, but I would probably still take Djokovic in that match against Zverev just because of Zverev's mental ineptitude. But it's just, I really hope this is the last year that we see Novak Djokovic play. I don't think it will be just because of how successful he is against other people. But once he starts playing against Carlos or Yannick, it's just very clear and apparent that he's never going to win another major again unless one or both of those guys get hurt. Under 12 and a half games, he could win a set and still lose the other one 6-2, 6-2, 6-1, or 6-2, 6-3, 6-1, and bet will still cash. So I want to take Sinner in straight sets, but this is kind of my way of giving Novak some respect. And we're gonna lay the juice at 110, 1.5 units, Djokovic under 12 and a half games. I'm sorry, bro, but I gotta do it to you. All right, last pick of the show. It's also the last semifinal of the Grand Slam. Carlos Alcaraz versus Alexander Zverev. This is going to be Thursday night, 8 o'clock p.m. I'm not picking a winner of this match. My gut instinct is Carlos in straights. I feel like he has a point to prove. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this on the last episode, but if he wins this Australian Open, he will be the youngest player to complete the career Grand Slam, which is a player who wins all 4 major tournaments in his career. He needs the Australian Open to complete this, and Sinner needs the French Open to complete this. So I'm not going to take a winner in this match, but what I am going to take, and I feel like, honestly, this line is so stupid, I feel like it's fixed. I'm going over 17 and a half aces at minus 120. We're going to put 1.5 units on it. I really want to put like 3 units on this, but we're gonna be smart, we're gonna be disciplined, and we're only gonna do 1.5 units. These are 2 of the biggest servers in the game. They're going head to head in a Grand Slam semifinal. I fully expect the serve games to be on point. Zverev is one of the best serves in the game. He regularly hits over 10 plus aces in a match. And the way I'm looking at it is if he hits 10, 11 aces, I only need 7 or 8 from Alcaraz, who has become the serve god out of nowhere in the last 6 months. A lot of people are saying that he has taken Djokovic's serve and has made it his own. Even Djokovic had made a joke about it in the beginning of the Australian Open, saying that if Carlos wins the Australian Open, he expects some type of homage or some type of copyright fee. But both of these guys have been serving phenomenally. One thing I will say is, as a Grand Slam semifinal, this is going to create pressure moments, and pressure moments that usually tends to have better serves, especially with Zverev. Whenever Zverev feels like he's in the jam or he needs to make something shake, he turns his serve up a notch. He just hit 24 aces against Tien, so if he does that, we cash by ourselves without even worrying what Alcaraz does. I don't think he gets 24 aces against Alcaraz, but I could see a good anywhere between 10 to 13, and if he does that, then we only need 5 to 8 from Alcaraz to hit. At 120, that feels really, really low. I want to take Alcaraz in straight sets so bad, but I'm working on discipline. I'm working on expected value, and out of all the bets and props I've seen for this match, Total aces over 17.5 just feels like the best one. So that's what I got for you guys. All right. All right, so that's going to be our coverage for the Australian Open semifinals. I'm going to go over the picks once again with the unit exposure. So in a total, we're going to be using 7 units to cover these 4 games. We're taking 2 units to do Sabalenka, 2 sets to love at minus 155. We're taking another 2 units at the Bagula Rybakina over 2.5 sets at plus 138. We're going to put a unit and a half on Joker to go under 12.5 games, and we're going to do another unit and a half for the over 17.5 aces for Alexander Zverev, Carlos Alcaraz. Depending on my work schedule this weekend, I will try to drop an episode for the finals. If I cannot drop an episode for the finals, I will at least do a short and upload it to the YouTube page. But I would like to try to do a finals episode where I pick a moneyline winner and some type of prop bet. We rolled episode 1. I'm looking forward to rolling episode 2. Can't wait to see you guys for episode 3. And as always, get rich or go broke time.